Hello and welcome to the PC Gaming Show 2020 live reaction. I'm catching this hours after it has aired. I'm unspoiled so far. So we're going to start this off. I've skipped the entire intro because, again, I missed it live. So we don't have to watch the intro. We can watch the show itself. Uh, let's see what we get. I have no idea what to expect from this other than that there's a lot of stuff they're showing off. And this thing's like 3 hours, 2.5 since we skipped the intro. So we're in this for the long haul. I'm going to try and do all this in one take. So let's see how that goes. Beginning now. We'll adjust settings on the fly. I have my list up to be able to write down the stuff that's announced. Let's go. Ian Gamers, Planet Earth. Can you turn this up a little bit?
As you guys can see, I'm missing my left eye.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Are we getting into like
the community that I am a part of.
no matter what, like health wise, no matter what walk of life, we're all gamers together?
Good evening, please.
I'm currently in a call with my friend, not responding anymore.
He's breathing really hard. You know he just had a seizure.
I built an arcade in my basement. This is my home.
You're in a whole different world.
Who cares what size you are, what gender you are?
I'm finding it done gluing all the details on the sword.
Fans definitely go crazy when they see this card.
It's like one of the most badass things you could drive.
Okay. Okay. Also, it's like 90 degrees outside right now. And it is 78 degrees inside. So every fan is on, and hopefully you can't hear them because of the RTX voice. But if you can, I'm sorry. I'm not turning them off. Okay. I'm one of those people that, like, I don't need any of this. Any, like, long intro. Just show me stuff. You know, have somebody come out and be like, hey, this is our show. We got some stuff to show you, you know? Fallout 76. Or Fallout New Vegas. I'm sorry, the good one. Reference. 76 is the first thing I think of now. Or maybe this is supposed to be it's a new Fallout, maybe? Or are we going to get shots from characters from all kinds of different video games here? I'm still very congested from my cold, too, so I apologize. Oh, haha! That's, James and Elise, yeah. Funhouse?
3, 2, 1.
Obviously, that's also the meme of, like, the boyfriend.
This is the PC Gaming Show. For the next 2 hours, we'll show you new footage.
Yep, I'm ready. Let's do it. I've been home for 10 minutes now.
From Dean Hall,
Let's
the
do it.
creator of DayZ, the world-exclusive debut of gameplay footage for Evil Genius 2.
Okay.
Ruthless combat in Mortal Shell.
All right.
Everspace 2. Epic battles in
I was not a
Total
fan
War
of
Saga,
Everspace 1,
Troy,
but I'm interested.
Torchlight 3.
Torchlight 3,
Coming
cool.
in the next chapter of Elite Dangerous.
All right.
Mafia Definitive Edition.
Sure.
A look at New World, Amazon's upcoming open
Okay.
world MMO.
Why, hello there, PC Gaming
Yes,
Show.
hello,
This is
sir.
Greg Miller.
It's Greg
Just
Miller.
pausing your broadcast for a moment to say that later on, I'll be dropping in again to reveal one of my favorite franchises that's coming to PC for the first time
Bump
ever.
the audio up a
If
little
you
bit
can
more.
name this tune, maybe you'll recognize what it is.
No way, Persona? I mean, I know we got rumors that that was coming, but that's the Juness theme for Persona 4. So that is coming to PC
And
then.
now your PC Gaming Show hosts,
Awesome.
Day 9 and Frankie Ward.
Juness. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I will absolutely play Persona 4 again.
Hello,
You kidding me?
Internet.
Especially if it's the
Welcome
golden
to the
version.
2020 PC Gaming Show. I am one of your hosts.
You know, I
today,
know he's in
Sean
front of a
Day
green
9
screen.
Plot,
That's a good
and
green
I'm
screen, though.
delighted to have you wherever you may be tuning in.
Like, you could just
Twitch,
barely
YouTube,
make out the
Twitter.
details around his
Welcome
neck.
to
It's
our
very
6th
well done.
annual event where we have
They
over
spent some
2
time making
hours
sure
of
that lighting was
content,
great.
50+ games.
Their
we're
green
gonna be
screen's
looking
way
at
better
in the
than ours.
form Of reveals, trailers, interviews that we've recorded in the last several weeks. Before we get into that, though, I want to take a moment to address the ongoing situation in America.
Sure.
While we're glad to be showing you some games today, there are many, many more people fighting for something far, far more important.
Sure.
The struggle against police violence and the systemic oppression of Black Americans. I and everyone who works on the PC Gaming Show each year, we know that Black lives matter, and this is not a fight that we are willing to stand on the sidelines for.
Cool.
So what can we all do? There's a great many organizations that deserve
It's
support
one thing
right
to
now,
say it, it's
and one
another
of
thing
them
to say it in
is
front of
the
all these people, you know?
NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund at NAACPLDF.org. If you want to support this and get some great games in the process, hundreds of developers have joined together at itch.io to create the Bundle for Racial Justice and
That
Equality.
bundle's incredible.
It's a pay whatever you want for the bundle, and 100% of the proceeds
Like
go to the
1,600
NAACP
games?
Fund and the Community Bail Fund. There's a lot more resources and information we'd like to
As
share.
well as a bunch
so
of, like,
PC Gaming
tabletop
has
RPG
created
stuff. That's
an
incredible.
ongoing list of ways that you can get involved in supporting protesters. That's at pcgamer.com/Black Lives Matter. Okay, we're going to begin the reveals in a moment, but this wouldn't be a PC Gaming Show without my dear friend and co-host Frankie Ward joining us from the
Yeah.
other side of the internet.
This is-
Welcome, Frankie. And why
She's
don't you
great.
say
I don't want to ever make it seem like she's not great. She's great.
And hello to everyone.
Literally, when I
watching
think
around
of
the
her,
world.
all I think of
We're
is
really
it's the
excited
man-eater
to be
woman.
With you again, and Sean, I've prepared a veritable smorgasbord.
She's great.
Of PC
I love
gaming
her,
interviews,
but
trailers, and
that's the
announcements.
first thing I think of with her.
This year's show features the most games we've
Because
ever
of that man-eater
presented.
joke that she told.
So, grab your beverage of choice because it's go time.
I got it, Frankie.
Thanks, Frankie. And I gotta say, your apartment looks quite a bit more like a music video than mine does. Maybe I should have sprung for
That's a
better
good joke.
lighting.
That's a good
Either
joke.
way, it's time for the PC Gaming Show. And as I said earlier, 50+ games. We've been talking to the developers,
do it.
interviewing them for weeks now. And though it looks kind of empty here, I'm not alone. My beautiful assistant and good buddy DevBot. You may have seen him making
yeah.
his way over here. He is awaiting us. So let's go join him and get the show started.
Sure.
All right, DevBot, what do we have for this year's PC
This is a good
Gaming
set.
Show?
This is a good set.
Downloaded 50 game
I'm a huge fan of the PC Gaming Show.
along
Like,
with a full report of the most
deal at
secret
E3 every year.
friendly
This is
dogs,
pretty good.
Per your request. Australian Shepherds rank 4th among all dog breeds.
Oh, well, excellent. Well, what should we play first then?
Scanning. Processing. My readings indicate that the audience would like to see Vikings.
Well,
Sure.
that sounds great. Then let's kick it off with Valheim, a Viking survival game where
Valheim.
you'll fight monsters, craft weapons, build and sail ships on an open ocean, all while exploring a procedurally generated landscape.
I realize
Show
I'm
me the
flipped,
game, DevBot.
so when I look to my right, I look left. It's fine. It's no big deal. And when I look to the left to write down games, I look. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Just ignore that I said it. If we weren't trying to do all this in one take, I would have started over. But I'm not starting over now. You're stuck with my mistakes. I'm so sorry. Okay. Not a big fan of survival games. Like, this is probably maybe it's either my least favorite or my second least favorite genre. Right up there with Battle Royale for me. I like the music though. A lot of people really like these though. I know Pat is a huge fan of the survival genre. Sorry, I'm still dealing with my cold. in like a weird way, I'm glad they started with this, because for me, this is like bottom of the barrel. Not like it looks bad, but just as in like I really don't have any strong emotions at all towards it, because of what genre of game it is. But this is, a lot of people love the genre. You start off strong with this, and then you can move into the other stuff that I care about more. Because I fully recognize that is just a personal me thing. Valheim, and you can sign up for the beta at valheimgame.com.
The next game has been in the works for quite a while and is just about
Bring
to
the
come
game
out.
audio,
I've been
video
following
audio
it
down
the
a
whole
little
time,
bit.
and if a game that features farming, creature collection, dance battles, and
Okay.
players wearing pants sounds like your cup
I'm
of
in.
tea, then it's time to put the kettle on and enjoy some ooblets.
Yes, Ooblets! Show me more about this game. I love monster collecting games. Oh, sorry, I'm also very tired, but I've stayed off the internet for the last like 5 hours, so I wouldn't be spoiled on this. Yeah, like it looks weird, but it looks like the kind of weird that I love, you know? And I love monster collecting games already, so I'm in. Early access coming this summer, soon.
Sean, I've selected the next game for the PC Gaming Show.
Well, great. What do you got, DevBot?
The game is Torchlight 3, a
Okay.
cherished action RPG franchise that features a number of original playable classes.
DevBot, you wouldn't have chosen this game because in Torchlight 3 you can play as a steam-powered robot, would you?
My game selections are entirely objective and determined by an algorithm that shows the audience only what it wants to see.
Show me the algorithm, DevBot.
The algorithm is proprietary.
Ha!
Okay, well, let's play the Torchlight 3 trailer, and when we're done, I want to talk to one of the Torchlight 3 devs.
Sure. World exclusive. It's like a world premiere.
In a world of magic and mystery, will you choose fame? Will you choose fortune? Or the future of the frontier?
I had forgotten to write down Ooblets. I had to write that one down too. It looks pretty good, Torchlight 3.
Explore remote, perilous realms. Battle hordes of ancient, powerful enemies. Unite with others to claim your fame and glory.
It looks good.
Torchlight 3. Your legend awaits.
Early access now available. Cool.
Oh,
I know a lot of
DevBot,
people who have been
please,
really hyped for
please
that.
connect me with one of those developers.
You got it, Sean.
Joining me today to talk about Torchlight 3 is Max Schaefer. Max, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Now, Max, Torchlight 2's story began with the alchemist from the original Torchlight becoming corrupted and evil. How does Torchlight 3's story tie into the first two?
Well, we're in the same world, obviously. We're about a century later now, though, and the
A
Empire is
century? Wow.
Yes, the Empire is in decline, and they've gotten a little lazy, a little comfortable, and
Sure.
a new threat looms on
That
the
happens.
horizon. So
That
once
definitely
again,
happens.
The adventurers will have to battle the Netherim and all the evil baddies threatening the world.
In terms of the scope and scale of Torchlight 3, how does it compare to the previous editions?
Well, we've expanded quite a bit. Now, first, anyone who's played Torchlight 1 and Torchlight 2 will be comfortable with the mechanics and how to play it and all.
Sure.
But we've expanded and let players make their own mark in the world itself. Like you get a customized fort that you can decorate that
Cool.
you can build things in. You can do things that benefit your whole account, and you can put things in there that are useful to other players. And other players will see your fort randomly out in the world.
Cool.
I want to ask a little bit about the classes, because if you're an
Yes,
action
please.
RPG player, you may recognize something like a knight or a mage. But in Torchlight 3, we got the steam-powered robots. We have the rail master that can summon trains. Talk to me about not just what some of the classes that players can expect are, but how you even come up with this glorious stuff.
Well, I think that we've always wanted to avoid going like right down Main Street with our character classes and
Makes
try to do
sense.
something interesting. But at the same time, we wanted you to be able to look at them and get a sense and get a kind of an intuitive sense of what they do. And so we've applied that here. We've got some really fun characters, like you said, the fully robotic, steam-powered robot, and a guy that summons trains. But we've also got some other cool classes too: a sharpshooter and a dusk mage. And honestly, they all have new twists, and they're all pretty fun to play.
In terms of the game world itself, how specifically do the forts get integrated? Like, what does it mean to stumble across someone else's fort as you're going through the world?
Well, between our gameplay levels, we have passages, and when you enter the passage, there will often be a waypoint there, but there will also be someone else's fort. So you will see some random person from the world's fort,
Cool.
and they will in turn see occasionally randomly your own fort. And it's definitely worth exploring their fort, because you can not only use things like the luck tree, but you can use their enchanting table and whatever recipes they've unlocked to enchant your own
Nifty.
items. So it's really worthwhile for you to go check them out.
Now, pets were
That's a
big
cool,
part
just
of
like
the earlier
random in the
Torchlight
world
games.
thing. I like that.
What type of pet-based entertainment can we expect?
We have expanded upon the pet system. It does all
Yeah.
the things you want. It fights alongside you.
Can I
It
still
goes-
have a deer?
Goes and takes your items back to town to sell. But we've introduced kind of a collection mechanic. So you can find pets out in the wild by defeating bosses.
All right, I'm
and
listening.
Make a whole stable of pets that you, of course, keep in your fort.
Now, Max, I know that the Torchlight series has
All right,
an
yep.
enormous fan
I want a
base.
stable
For
full of
those
pets.
who are
Yes,
looking to
please.
get their hands on Torchlight 3, where can they go and when can they play it?
Well, I'm very, very happy to announce that we are available on Steam right now in early access for $29.99. Go check it out.
That's
It's
not bad,
available
actually.
Right this minute.
This is the best
Because the game will be
tie-in for the
60 when it
PC
comes
gaming
out.
show. You
Like,
can
I'm not
get
big
it
on early
now.
access, but
Once
that's not
again,
bad.
Max Schaefer from the Torchlight 3 team, thank you so much for
Nice.
joining us. Once again, go to Steam right now to get your hands on the early access version of Torchlight.
It's tough to
3.
look at footage
We're
like
just
that and
getting started
go,
here on
yeah,
the
this is going to be
PC Gaming
good.
Show. Let's take
Because
a
it
look at
really,
what's
it really
coming up
relies on how those
You're
classes
watching
play.
the PC
But I
Gaming
have
Show.
faith that they
Coming
will
up later,
do it well,
an
if that makes
exclusive
sense.
Look at the next game from DayZ creator Dean Hall.
Sure.
Lyco's Block Party, the first reveal of Sound Mind, and more. Back to you, Sean. Back to you, Sean.
Well, hey everyone, I hope you're having a great time. I know I am.
Was he supposed
and
to
I
say
know
it twice?
You want to tell me how much fun you're having, but don't shout. The walls are very thick in here. I can see you though if you use the PC Gaming Show hashtag on Twitter.
I feel like there was a
Facebook,
joke
or the
there.
PC
Also,
Gamer
that
forums, or
that
a
definitely
Ouija
is not
board,
supposed
or
to
a
pile on
Messenger
top of
Falcon,
itself like that.
Whatever is your desired form of communication. I'm sure you've been seeing many of those comments show up live in the show today. And we want your hottest 280 character take that our merry moderators might just select to be on the show. For our next segment, it's time to head on over to Frankie Ward.
Okay.
Elite Dangerous, the space simulation
Yes.
MMO from Frontier, has continued to evolve.
That's a
over
game
the
that I have
past
not
5
touched
years.
at all.
Set in a one-to-one recreation of our actual Milky Way galaxy, players forge their own path, build and break alliances, trade, fight, and earn the rank of Elite. Join
Okay.
us as we journey into the next era of Elite Dangerous, set to take a giant leap once
Oh
more.
man, I'm tired. I gotta keep to it. Show me something that gets me hype. Makes me wake up. Down before I forget and have to fix it all up again. Okay. Okay. Sure. I'm gonna be honest, that trailer did absolutely nothing for me.
Joining me to talk about the next chapter of Elite Dangerous is Piers Jackson from Frontier
Sure.
Developments. Thanks so much for joining us, Piers.
Oh, you're welcome. It's good to be here.
Now, I have a lot of questions about the trailer we just saw, but I'm wondering if you can contextualize a little bit for those who haven't played Elite Dangerous. What is it?
So I think the best way of explaining what Elite Dangerous is to understand how big it is. We have created a title that's the most complete, authentic space simulation of any game out
sure.
there, and it's just vast. It's the
I've
whole
always meant to
galaxy.
play Elite
You
Dangerous
can
and just
explore
never
it.
did.
You can take your own path. You can be a pilot, a trader, a bounty hunter. You can do what you want. You can go where you want, and you can do your own thing. And it's that sort of freedom and the ability for people to tell their own story that I think makes Elite what it actually is.
Sure.
Now, in all the streams that I've been following for Elite Dangerous, there's a lot of gameplay that happens in ships. There's a lot of focus on the economy and trading. In this trailer, though, we saw feet on the ground, which immediately makes me ask, what is it that we should expect? What should we
I guess, like,
glean
if
from
I
the
knew about
trailer?
Elite Dangerous, maybe that's the thing that would have been exciting to me. But as somebody that doesn't know anything about that game, really,
you can now, for the
that
very
meant
first
nothing to me.
time,
So I'm glad they're
set foot on
clarifying it here.
planets. We've created the last edition, really, in terms of going from space all the way down to the planet's surface. So now you can set foot, you can explore, you can interact with the environment, and we've taken the mission-based gameplay and the idea of forging your own path and creating your own experience that the space game has, and we've transposed that right down onto the planet. For the first time, you'll be able to access a whole pile of new planets, all ones with tenuous atmospheres.
Sure.
And obviously, you're going to be able to play this in multiplayer. So you'll be able to join up with your friends. You can experience the game from the ship, from an SRV, and finally from on foot.
In what way will this ground, walking on the planet component, transform the existing aspects of Elite Dangerous?
I think it gives people a new set of experiences to have. We link all the way from ground to the buggies, the SRVs, all the way up to the spaceships, so that it becomes a holistic event. The design actually encapsulates the whole experience.
In terms of some of the other systems that are on the planets, or various resources or points of interest, what are some of those that might tie back to some of the gameplay that someone would be familiar with?
So we have new planets that you can visit.
I'm sorry I'm not saying much during this. I'm kind of just listening because I don't know anything about this game.
So you can really set foot and be the first to actually make footfall on a new planet.
Now, Piers, I have a combo question for you. Elite Dangerous is available right now. Where can players go to play Elite Dangerous, and when can they expect the Odyssey update?
So you can join in with our community now, playing Elite Dangerous. Download it via Steam, or go to the Frontier store, or purchase it on console. We have many people playing it.
Sure.
In terms of Odyssey, you can
Wishlist it now, they say.
Next year.
I hope you all enjoyed that conversation about Elite
Yeah,
Dangerous.
it's just it's
a
tough,
treat to
right?
see the way the
Because
game is
I
continuing
don't
to
know
evolve.
anything about
For our
that
next
game,
title, we're going to
and
be-
none of that really convinced me to play it any more than already just like, hey, yeah, it seems cool.
Not again.
Hi there again, PC gamers. It's me, Greg Miller. Maybe
Greg.
you saw me host the Guerrilla Collective live stream earlier today. No, I didn't.
No, I missed it. I'm sorry.
I'll give the PC Gaming Show back to its usual host in a moment, but I couldn't let anyone else announce this next trailer, which is a game near and dear to my heart. Let's take a look.
This is P4G. It's P4G. Yes. Yes. P4G. Now it's shadow dropped. Oh heck yeah! I'll play P4 again. Man, this year it's just turned it into me playing old games again with new ports and new versions, and I am here for it, honestly. P4G! Shadow drop!
Persona 4 Golden is available now on Steam. If
Yep.
you haven't played
I gotta
this,
buy
I
that
would
directly
really
after the stream.
Persona 4 Golden is a masterpiece.
It is.
ladies and
It's
gentlemen.
amazing. It's
The
such a good
story,
game.
The action, the characters.
I
This is something
love
you
the
have to go
characters.
get
Kanji,
right now. It's been
Naoto,
awesome to see
Yu.
Atlas games make their way on
Oh,
PC. I'm glad this one is
Yu is
finally
actually a
here.
really good main
Anyway,
character.
I better hand the show back over to
Chie?
Sean before he gets mad
Oh.
at me. See you later, PC gamers.
Well, that was weird. I thought this live stream was supposed to be secure.
I'm analyzing the security breach now, Sean. I'm not sure what could have
Teddy!
Well, all right then. While we get this sorted out, let's head on over to Frankie.
Sure.
Our next trailer reveals an all-new psychological horror game coming to PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X early next year. In Sound Mind will challenge your expectations as it ushers you through the deepest corners of your psyche. It sounds like every night before I go to sleep, honestly.
Sure.
The game also features a chilling original soundtrack by The Living Tombstone. Courtesy of indie outfit We Create Stuff and publisher Modus Games, let's take a look at In Sound Mind.
World premiere. It's a joke. They don't have a voice doing that every time.
They say fear is just a state of mind. A locked door that traps you inside it.
I feel bad for everything after the P4G announcement. Because now I'm sitting here just going, do.
What a bunch of bullshit.
It's like, no, Trey, stop. You gotta pay attention. Sure. This seems interesting. I'm not a fan of statues, so you know that could be interesting, but Living Tombstone makes some good music, though. In Sound Mind. Oh, you can play the demo now on Steam.
Hey everyone, I'm Ido, producer at We Create Stuff.
Hey, I'm Gen, creative director.
Hey, Tombstone here. We're the developers who brought you Nightmare House 2, and now we're back. We've partnered with Modus Games and The Living Tombstone, and we're working on a new indie horror game, In Sound Mind.
Demo is now out on Steam. Let us know what you think.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So hey, DevBot, how did you get here today anyways?
Well, Sean, my sleep state was interrupted when I realized I was late to this year's PC gaming show. So naturally, I panicked. I had to improvise about how to reach our undisclosed broadcasting location before you began the show. I tried some back roads in the desert.
This could be a reveal for another game. Hidden in this.
I tried to hitchhike.
That's a good gag. That's a good gag.
But ever since the 1991 documentary Terminator 2, no one in Los Angeles trusts robots.
That's fair. Documentary. Terminator 2.
At that point, I was already right outside our secret location.
Cool. Hey, let's take a look at our next trailer.
Airborne Kingdom loading.
You say Airborne Kingdom? Like this art style already? Yeah, I'm digging this art style a lot. Yeah, okay. You know what I'm thinking about during all this, though? Persona 4 Golden. This looks really cool, though. I'm down. I'll play it. Airborne Kingdom. Yeah, I'll play it. Let me make a cool Airborne Kingdom. Flying City. You think they had to workshop that name? That's a good name. Just clear. I don't hate the name. I'm just like,
surprised to know that
they had to go, well, let's not call it Flying Town.
Games, and that's why I'm excited.
Soaring City.
Trailer. It's Dwarfheim, a cooperative RTS.
Okay.
Where up to 3 players can split up the work of building, mining, and fighting, working together to build defenses, machinery, and traps, train armies to fend off deadly trolls and rival clans. The Dwarfheim demo is live right now on Steam.
Oh, that's cool.
What the game is all about.
Nobody told him they'd switch cameras.
Ever since the fall, dwarven clans live scattered across Agartha. They toil every day in the dark and dirt. They try to protect what little they have.
Sure.
From rival clans. And the vile creatures that roam these lands. Your clan needs you now, chieftains, to lead your people. Choose your classes, guide your builders and miners to expand your kingdom. Or take up arms with your warriors to protect our town halls and conquer your enemies. Bring us to victory! Bring us to Dwarfheim!
It definitely, like, I feel like, I know I'm lower energy than normal. I'm going to try and build that back up. It's been a very long day. But that also is not really my style of RTS.
Thanks, Sean.
But it doesn't look bad. I think it's an interesting idea.
Games and game updates coming from indie publisher New Blood Interactive.
Sure. World premiere. The Game Awards memes are never going to stop, are they? I need another Dr. Pepper. This is a real bad time. I should have grabbed it when they were talking about how DevBot got there. Okay. Was that first one Devil Daggers 2? Probably not. This stuff looks okay. Looks kind of cool. Dusk. Okay, it's a Doom-like style thing. Mod support. Cool. Like those shotguns a lot. That's cool. AMD. Ooh, is that what it said? Sure. Maximum. All right. Unfortunate Spacemen. That seems cool. 16-man co-op. Interesting. Free to play. All right. Ultra Kill. So, I understand why devs do these, like, big... there's a word for them. I can't remember the word at all. It's like, where there's a bunch of videos in a row. It starts with an M. Oh, well. I understand why they do it, because, like, you can show a bunch of your games really quickly, you know? However, I think that style of, like, setup is not great when it comes to discussion for the games later, because then it's like, hey, here's all these games. They didn't spend a lot of time on any one of them, but hey, here you go. Here's all of them.
Going on, right? I mean, some guys come out here, they show like some cinematic trailer, and then tell you it's coming out in a year. We got 6 games, and you can play all of them
right now.
We couldn't afford to do a cinematic trailer if we wanted to, right? So yeah, Dusk.
Here we go. This is what I need. I gotta talk about these on the podcast Tuesday. Talk to me about these games. Medieval, that's what it's called.
DLSS 2.0 is coming. Maximum Action. New levels are coming. New features. New guns. Unfortunate Spacemen is now completely free to play. F it, why not? Check that one out. 16-player co-op.
Sure.
It's crazy. It's like the Thing in space. Faith, of course. If you don't know about Faith.
Now you know.
Ultra Kill, our new retro shooter with style. If you like games like Devil May Cry.
That didn't tell me anything about Faith, though, buddy.
That's what that's about. And then, of course, Gloomwood. If you like games like Thief, System Shock, Resident Evil, then I think Gloomwood is definitely the game for you.
Where can we go to learn more?
Sure.
So, you can check out Dusk at notfortnite.com, a Medieval at I can't believe it's not Hexen.com, Maximum Action at shootyboom.com, Unfortunate Spacemen at deaderspace.com, that's deaderspace.com, Faith at GaryLovesYou.com, Ultra Kill at DevilMayQuake.com, and then, of course, Gloomwood at ThiefWithGuns.
Okay, yep, nope, you guys win. You guys win the show.
We got 6
NotFortnite.com is gold. That is amazing. Deader Space?
Let's see what Frankie has for us.
That's incredible. That's great.
Thank you, Sean. Now tell me, PC gamers, have you ever wanted to rewrite history? Not
Sure.
your browser history, that's easy and absolutely vital, but how about something grander? Like discovering America, mastering flight, or inventing the computer a couple of hundred years earlier.
Okay.
Humankind is an upcoming historical strategy game where you'll be combining up to 60
feel like I've
different
heard that
cultures
name
to
before.
create a civilization that's as unique as you are. And as with all of their previous titles, Amplitude is asking the community to participate in the development of Humankind to help make it the best game that it can be.
Okay.
Let's see how they're inviting PC gamers to help build this worldly game.
I've definitely come up from where I was at the start of this. P4G helped a lot. I feel like I wasn't as excited for Torchlight 3 as I probably should have been. That's the one I regret looking back now. But the show is definitely, it's pretty good so far. Normally, PC Gamer Show is like one of my top of E3. This year, we only got 2 shows because of the virus, so... Oh, man. Is this better than the Sony show? So far, yeah, it is. Because the Sony show had those weird interstitials that I didn't like at all. 3 time-limited scenarios. Okay. All right. Sure. The only thing I will say is that nothing in there showed the mixing of cultures. I think that would have been a nice thing to add in there, but the game's still very early on from what it sounds like, and they're giving limited scenarios that you can join in on, so there you go.
You need to go to opendev.gamestogether.com so
Sounds
you
like
can
it.
be one of the very first humans to get your hands on Humankind,
Not
Amplitude
remember-
Studios' upcoming historical strategy game. And now for something a little different, why don't you join me in my chambers? Come on. Come on.
I physically can't follow you, I'm sorry.
Of all the subcultures and communities that make up PC gaming, modders have arguably had the biggest impact. My next guest is Dean Hall, a designer who started
Sure.
out as a modder and eventually helped
Very
lay the
important guy in the
foundation
history of
for two
mods.
the most popular genres on PC, survival and battle royale. Let's take a look at the next game from Rocketworks revealed here on the PC Gaming Show. It's Icarus.
Icarus. I feel like I've heard of that one too. I guess not, because it's a world exclusive, so... Maybe I'm thinking of a different game that just had a similar name. Survival game. All right. On an alien planet? Sure. Sure. Doesn't really interest me, but, you know, again, not my type of game at all. That's a problem. It's a big issue. So none of those trees produce oxygen then. Interesting.
Joining me to talk about Icarus is Dean Hall. Dean,
That's the
thanks
guy
so
to
much
get.
for joining us.
Awesome, it's great to be here.
So, Dean, you're making another survival-focused game. What makes Icarus different from other survival titles?
Well, I think if you think about your first hour in DayZ, your first hour in
Humankind. I'm one
Minecraft,
of those.
really what we're trying to do is capture that and then basically build a game where you can do that over a long period of time and you can progress through the survival experience. So it was really getting back to the roots of what a survival game is and what makes those moments that you get in them really intense and emotional.
If you could just walk me through like the basic loop. If I just open up the game, do I start out on the ship itself?
If you think about the orbital station as your apartment in GTA, you can invite your friends in and prepare for what we call a drop.
That didn't
and
really.
then you select a prospect. And the big challenge of the game, and the way to fail it, I guess, is to run out of time on the drop.
Let's say I'm on a 30-minute mission. I have a particular resource I've set out to snatch up. How does the gameplay of that 30-minute period differ from other survival games?
I suppose there were three key things that I felt needed to be addressed before I made another survival game. The first was the ability to scale. By breaking your experience over months and years into sessions, that allowed us to address scale. So you still can do all the things that you do in a normal survival game, building bridges, roads, all those kinds of things. But you're doing it with a medium-term focus. The second was pacing and clear direction, which is helped very much by the structure that we're putting around the session. And the last one is really focusing in on those core survival mechanics, which I really feel is the whole reason that survival as a genre connects so emotionally with players.
I guess I was a little surprised to hear that there are 20-minute drops as well as multi-day drops. What are the sort of time ranges we're looking at? Are there different categories and tiers of drop length?
Yeah, so it really depends on your level as you progress through the game. So early on, we're really just introducing you to more safe environments. So say a daytime drop that only lasts 20 minutes. You're only going to be facing the game during the day. As you progress on, you can take on and get access to prospects that have much longer drop windows, but that means you're getting a cycle of day-night. And night, particularly for most of our biomes, is definitely the most dangerous.
Sure,
I want to ask a little bit about what failure means in Icarus. I mean, in the trailer there was someone that fell down and you just ominously talked about the dangers of being left behind on the planet. What happens if you don't make it back to the ship in time, die on the planet? What happens?
If you think about DayZ, when you get shot, it's a very binary event that happens and there's nothing you can do, it's just over. And there's a certain charm to that.
Everything's gone.
Yeah, there's a certain charm to that.
These are some roundabout answers.
A charm. I like your use of the word charm there, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, there definitely is. But I think with Icarus, we've chosen one failure state. If you run out of time on your drop, that character and all its equipment is gone.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make that terrifying. And that's why our tagline is, there are worse fates than death. So it's getting left behind. If you miss your rendezvous window with the orbital station, then that's it. Everything that you've deployed on there, your character and all that progression of that character and all that equipment is just gone. And that's our one failure state. If you run out of oxygen, someone can come and revive you. If you get attacked by this particular animal and damaged, someone can heal you. But if you run out of time, it's over.
I'm curious,
that's a
there's
cool idea.
So many elements.
I
There's so much ambition.
don't like
I know there's a lot of PC gamers that maybe feel like you abandoned DayZ, other projects. What do you have to reassure
serious
those
question.
people
Okay.
that you're committed to Icarus?
Well, I think a big thing for me is Bohemia was an existing company and I definitely felt like I was pulling them in a direction that was hard for them to go. And they probably felt like they were pulling me in a direction that I didn't want to go. And it's really been a bit of a struggle for me to develop and not only the studio, but myself as well. There was a whole bunch of things I had to learn. I had to learn many of those things through failure. The solution there was to make sure it wasn't just a Dean Hall game, but it was a game built by incredibly skilled people. And we managed to assemble, I think, definitely one of the best teams I've ever worked with, an exceptional concept team through to a technical and production team as well.
Well, I know there's a ton of people
Again,
that are
that didn't
interested
super
in my
answer
very
his
next
question,
question,
though.
my favorite question. When can people get the opportunity to play Icarus?
That is a good question. So we're looking at sometime next year. Our development is very advanced at this point. Our biggest question really is content. So, we're making the game free to play because we wanted to maximize the number of people that play it. And we're acutely aware a number of our former staff are ex-Grinding Gear Games who made Path of Exile, very talented in the free-to-play area. So we're very cognizant of how much content we need to provide gamers. So at the moment, we're really sort of heading into that.
Well, Dean, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Awesome.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Once again, that was Dean
he
Hall
didn't
from
answer
Rocket
directly
Works
a
for
lot
the
of those
upcoming
questions.
survival
The one I
game
go back to
Icarus.
is, when I
For our
start the
next
game,
let's head to
am I going to be
Frankie.
on the ship or am I going to be on the planet? And he just ignores that question completely.
When you're an
That doesn't
evil
fill me with a lot of
supervillain,
confidence.
It's important to have
but-
your own sense of style. What? Evil Cat Psychics are so 2019. Evil Genius 2 asks players the question, how would you design a supervillain fortress? Would you build a pool filled with laser sharks, or would you just give all the home appliances RGB lighting? Here's the world-exclusive first gameplay footage of Evil Genius
Giving
2,
every appliance RGB
World
lighting that could like
Domination.
all sync up together is pretty cool. I would do that. Walk through the house and have everything in the house shift the lights as you do. Be pretty cool. Sure. Step 1. Sure, makes sense. Build a layer. I'm in. I like it. Step 2. Train your minions. And we got 50 games and we're... $18 in. But I like that they're giving every game its due, right? Special henchman, sure, cool. I'm down. Need some nefarious missions, okay. Go steal the Mona Lisa for me. Pose of secret agents. Cool. All right. Nice. Oh, step 6 is redacted. World domination. It looked like they might have been feeding that body into an incinerator. Sure, I'm down. Sometime this year. Sign up now. Free soundtrack and a free in-game item.
We are about to see the first official gameplay footage for Godfall on PC.
Okay.
Counterplay Games is going to give us a guided tour.
Is it going
of
to have
the
another
battle for Imperium.
soundtrack that
And keen
immediately gets
observers will notice that this is running
claimed
in
on YouTube?
Unreal Engine 5. That's why those shiny sets of armor look oh so gorgeous.
Like the
you can go on over to the Epic
the
Games Store
PS4
and wishlist it now, or get more
event did?
information on Godfall before it releases this holiday season. But for now, let's take a look.
I feel like I'm almost immediately indisposed against your game if you put in soundtracks that get me claimed on YouTube.
Hello, my name is Keith Lee, and I am the game director for Godfall.
Sure.
On behalf of Counterplay Games, we are very excited to share gameplay with you today and to offer you a glimpse
I don't
into the
like
mystical world of
how
Godfall.
obvious it
Please
is
enjoy.
that the sword on the back is clipping
Godfall
through the
is still
cape.
in development, so some things will change and improve in the final product, including visuals and performance. Godfall is set in a brand new high fantasy universe filled with heroic
Like, I don't
knights,
mind clipping. I'm
arcane
used to
magic,
clipping, right?
forbidden realms.
But it's
The
extremely
world is
obvious.
split up into the elemental realms of earth, water, air, and fire. You play a Valorian knight, a godlike warrior able to equip valor plates.
So you can definitely see the frame
legendary
drops,
armor
right?
sets that
But they
transform
they just said a second ago
unstoppable
that it's going to get better
As
because
you
they're not
adventure
done
through
tweaking
the
performance
realms,
yet.
You'll get to tear through enemies to challenge a mad god who awaits you at the top. Throughout your journey, you'll find ancient valor plates lost in
Sure.
time, each with their own characteristics and long history. Now let's talk about gameplay in Godfall. First,
Those frame drops are
our
rough.
team wanted to do something different. We wanted to combine action RPG loot progression with third-person melee combat to create what we think is a whole new genre, the looter slasher. Our game is therefore one
I
part
hate that
gear-driven
name.
and
A lot.
one part player skill.
Also, wasn't Kingdoms of
In other
Amalur already
words,
this?
Not only do we want you to find exquisite weapons with powerful loot traits, but we also want you to have that feeling of accomplishment for mastering the wide set of combat mechanics available to you in Godfall. What you're looking at now is a mid-boss fight, a tougher challenge which we'll have to leave for another day. Please check out the Godfall channels.
Yeah,
on
I don't know
Twitter,
how I feel about that.
Facebook,
The idea of
YouTube.
looter slasher.
Thank you so much for taking a look at Godfall, and we'll be showing
Pretty sure,
you
like,
more
I know
soon.
Amalur did it, but I think there's other games that have done it
Next up,
too.
When PC gamers think of iconic first-person shooters, they think of games like Doom, Quake, and Duke Nukem.
Sure.
Our next trailer shows a project that celebrates the proud heritage of sci-fi FPSs while taking advantage of some very modern visual effects, like glorious enemy dismemberment.
Okay.
From Bounding Box Software and Humble Publishing, this is Proteus.
Okay. Proteus. Sure. I like this art a lot. Sure. Where do I feel like I've heard about this game before? I mean, it looks good, don't get me wrong. It's not me saying, like, oh, it's not new. I feel like I've heard this mentioned before. It looks good, though. Oh, it's with E. Proteus. As in Deus. Said Proteus. Hey, Tactics, the girl who destroyed the world? Alright, I'm listening. Card-based? I'm in. I like that art a lot, actually. How many party members can you have at a time? Looks like quite a few. Oh, can they evolve? The music's really good. Okay. I'm in. Summer this year. Coming soon.
I love the look of that last
I
one.
do too. That
Fate
looks
Tactics
really
is
good.
Set to scratch that isometric combat itch that I know a lot of us have been feeling ever since we played Final Fantasy Tactics back in the 90s. All right, but we're not done with Humble Games yet.
Okay.
Their lineup, as it turns out, isn't all that humble. We're going to take a look at 2 more games from them. Project Wingman, a jet fighter game featuring RPG elements and VR support. And rounding things out is Carto from Sunhead Games, a gorgeous top-down puzzler.
Sure.
Let's take a look.
Okay. So this is Carto then. As in cartographer. I gotta sneeze. I didn't sneeze. I feel like I... Carto looks really cute. That sneeze, by the way, that's the thing that normally I want to cut around in the video. I'm trying to do this all in one take, though. Carto looks really cute. Seems kind of cool. Check Wingman. It does remind me that I need to get back to Ace Combat 7, though. Cool.
Hey, DevBot, have you ever wondered what Gordon Freeman's voicemail message sounds like?
Sean, that is an intriguing inquiry. However, something is wrong. I'm receiving an external transmission.
Why does this keep happening, DevBot? What's with the security? Have you upgraded to Service Pack 2 yet?
The transmission is coming from a powerful space satellite.
Greetings, PC Gaming Show. It is I, your supreme leader, Kane.
Excuse me?
I am commandeering this broadcast to deliver an important mission briefing. You must capture the GDI base marked at these coordinates. This is a strategically significant facility. I'm just kidding. It's me, Joe Coogan. And I can take over this broadcast because I do what I want. Look,
That's
you
fair.
know Command & Conquer has been a
That's
major
fair.
part of your life. It's certainly been a big part
Yeah.
of mine.
Command & Conquer's great.
Command & Conquer
Used to be
Remastered
great.
Collection recently launched for PC.
I
and
really
it
want
is
to
an
get that.
awesome way to
I really
relive
want to
this
play it.
classic game with a bunch of new
And
bells
a nod.
whistles. I mean, who doesn't like 4K graphics, quick matches in multiplayer, or modding? Am I right? I personally want to send a big shout out to all you PC gamers who have kept the legacy of Kane alive over these last 25 years. I mean, I live in death, I guess. Thanks for letting me interrupt, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the show. For the glory of Nod!
Yeah, he did the thing.
Tell me,
No,
PC
he's great,
gamers,
though.
do you
He's
have any
great.
rare action figures? Perhaps you're one of the lucky owners of an out-of-print collectible, something you'd never trade away in a million years.
Yeah.
Our next game is a celebration of toys and art. On its surface, a game about collecting, customizing, and trading, but it's also a highly social playground for creativity, one where you can make your own levels and gather with your friends to hang out, play mini games, and create together. This
Okay.
is Blanco's Block Party.
Blanco's Block Party. All right.
Legend tells of a place.
Oh, it's my third kind.
where everyone comes together to play and dance and race and shoot and jump and fly with jetpacks or maybe bat wings. And there's lava and a
Okay.
mountain made of junk food.
This isn't really doing anything for me, but sure.
Own adventures where you are in charge. Where you can make your very own games with your very own rules. And all your friends can come and play. Like this one here. Yep, them too. And I don't know what that dude is, but he is cool. What? They're
Sure.
all toys come to life. And I can actually play with them and own them all. That's f***ing sweet. But you see, this place isn't a legend at all. It's a party.
Why do they sound like the Minions?
Here to bring us the inside look at
Sure.
Blanco's Block Party is Jamie Jackson from Mythical. Jamie, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey man, thanks for having me.
I would love if you could just address what is Blancos?
Blancos it's a game about vinyl toys kind of coming to life and where they go when a human leaves the room.
Sure.
But it's also more than just a game. It's a place for content creators and gamers and collectors to come together and hang out and build the worlds and games that they really want to play in. And you can have as many as your friends come and hang out with you as you want. But you could also drop the toys in. So the first toy you can play with is one called, it's a shooting mechanic. We got like a unicorn rocket launcher that fires ice creams. We got like a cactus
Sure.
grenade launcher that
Why
fires
not?
these little cactus balls. So it's all about kind of like arcade fun shooter stuff. And you can set that up as a team shooter. You could have squads. You can do a bunch of stuff with it. You can even just have it free for all. Some other stuff we're going to be dropping is race toys. So you could just do point to point. You could build this super sweet like platformer. and just
Sure.
go A
I mean,
to
it looks
B.
good.
You could do
It
laps.
doesn't.
And
I don't know that
another
I'll get
one
it, but
is-
it looks
Blancos,
good.
They all survive on good vibes. That's kind of what powers them. So another one you could do is actually just a vibe collection. And what's kind of super cool is all of those toys work with each other. So you could build a race, and then you could drop some guns in it, and it can be a race, but you can pick up guns on the way and try and knock each other out.
So you have
Sure.
these huge flexible tools, this community focus. We've also seen in games like Fortnite these in-game events. Are these kinds of things that you think will show up in Blancos as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we felt that from the beginning of development, that Blancos wasn't just this place for players to go and build and create their own worlds, but it was a place for us to be able to share with them different content, whether that's a music concert, whether it's a movie trailer, you know, whether it's something no one's seen yet. But absolutely, that we're definitely thinking about that kind of stuff.
Well, talk to me about the number of different designs. Like, where are these designs coming from? How many are there?
we're not talking about numbers in season 1 just yet, but we are talking about the artists. So we're really stoked we've been able to work with some of my favorites that I've been buying the vinyl toys of over the years. So John Paul Kaiser is a great artist from the UK. I ended up buying some of his toys in New York about 6 years ago, and now we get to work together and bring his toys to life in the game.
I don't love
James Groman,
the head.
who I think just kind of really epitomizes vinyl toy design, just those clean vector-based lines. And
I think the idea is cool, but I don't. It reminds me too much of Pops, and I don't like the way Pops look at all.
Grandfathers of vinyl toy design.
I know people are going to want more information. They're going to want to know when they can play Blankos, when they can see more. Where do they go for that?
If you want to keep just up to date with things, go and check out blankos.com. You can register there right now, so you can
Zeke just sneezed. I don't know if you can hear it or not.
And get ready for launch.
But I heard it.
We're going to be launching end of the year.
So I'm assuming you probably
not too far away now, but we're also going to be starting to look for our beta at some point soon as well. So if you get registered, we might be able to get you in that.
Jamie from Mythical, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Once again, the name of the game is Blankos Block Party. Let's take a look at what's coming up next at this year's PC Gaming Show.
Sure.
You're watching the PC Gaming Show, presented by PC Gamer. Stay tuned for more trailers, announcements, and footage. Coming up later, we celebrate the 20th anniversary of A Total War.
Okay.
What's next in Escape from Tarkov? The reveal of horror strategy game Rogue Lords.
All right.
And more. Back to you, Frankie.
The PC is the birthplace of space flight action games, and our next project, Everspace 2, expands on that tradition with its
I did not like
gorgeous
Everspace 1 very much, but
the focus here is on exploration
2 could bring
and
you back.
fighting, with alien species standing in the way of outfitting your ship with unique modules, weapons, and devices. And as we're about to see in this next trailer, combat won't just take place in the cold vacuum of space, but also the atmospheres of planets themselves. Here's Everspace 2.
Everspace is one of those few games that like I played and just didn't gel with at all, and did that one video on it, never went back, stopped it immediately after the video, uninstalled the game, and have not touched it since. And that's just, it's a me thing, I guess. Like everybody has a game that they play that just does not work for them at all. And unfortunately, Everspace 1 was that for me. A lot of people tell me it's really good, but it just didn't gel with me at all. I must seem like the worst because I just keep talking about how, no, yeah, that looks cool, but it's not really for me with all these games. Although there's some that have been announced that I've been super hyped for. Like, it definitely doesn't look bad at all, right? But like, put me in behind a ship like this. Give me this footage. Let me see what it's like when I'm actually playing the game. Sure. Alpha starting June 15th. Fast, coming up real fast. We're still not even halfway through the show. Why do I feel like I've seen this art style before? All right. Ink Illuminati.
PC gamers, I'm sure you'll agree. If a horse shows up at your door and you don't remember ordering a horse, it's probably best to keep the door shut. One of the coolest things about a Total War Saga Troy, the next game from Creative Assembly, is that it will enable players to experience multiple different versions of how the iconic battle went down, including
I get
several
the joke now,
explanations
yeah.
for what that mythical horse
I
actually
get the joke,
was.
yeah.
I'll get the door while you watch the latest trailer.
There better be a horse in the next shot with him in there.
Peggy 16.
Even if it's just a fake wooden one, there better be a horse in the next shot with him in there.
Silver-tongued Odysseus. There is only one response to Queen Helen's abduction, and that is war.
In Total War Saga Troy, you can rewrite the events of one of the greatest conflicts ever told, the Trojan War. As Odysseus besieged the legendary city of Troy in 3 ingenious and equally devastating ways, all based around prominent theories from throughout the ages as to what the iconic Trojan horse really resembled.
The walls of this city may appear to be mighty, but no defenses are impregnable.
Using gargantuan siege towers, take the fight to the walls. Slaughter the Trojans atop and force them back into their pitiful city.
The enemy are unaware of your presence. Position your troops to
I really
retain
should
your
get back into
advantage
Total
once
War
the
games.
attack begins.
Sneak troops into the city in a vast, horse-headed vessel fit for the gods. Under the cloak of darkness, use guerrilla tactics to sabotage the unbreachable city gates, leaving the Trojan warriors defenseless, allowing the Achaean soldiers to begin razing the city to the ground.
Their walls have been breached.
Even the greatest defenses cannot stand against nature's might. In a land ravaged by earthquakes, patience is rewarded. Send your troops forward. Troy is yours for the taking.
I mean, it looks cool.
Myth meets history in a war that will define the ages. Experience the legend of Troy this summer.
Victory will make you immortal.
August 13th.
That was a Total War Saga Troy, which we'll get to play in 2021. And hey, speaking of sneaking in big surprises, a master of segue. This year, we've teamed up with Intel to build a legendary custom computer inspired by art, weaponry, and the artifacts found in the game. DevBot, I understand you know your way around a computer, right?
Affirmative. Sean, I have a soft spot for Bronze Age computers.
Well, great. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit more?
Can do, Sean. Behold, PC gamers.
This build is centered around Intel's CPU, the 10th gen Intel Core i9-10900K processor. This 10-core flagship CPU is built for maximum gaming performance and overclocking, especially useful in epic strategy games like a Total War Saga Troy.
Sure.
The build also features a top-of-the-line GeForce RTX 2080 Ti. Also on the Asus motherboard are a spacious 4 terabytes of fast storage and 128 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. The unit is powered by a platinum-certified Corsair 1200-watt power supply, and temperatures are kept at a nominal level thanks to 9 RGB fans running alongside liquid cooling.
All right, then.
The copper tubing is not only effective at heat conduction, but, according to my readings, aesthetically pleasing. Is this what you humans call love?
PCs are more than specs. They're a passion. When we build a PC, we form a relationship with that piece of hardware. We wanted to show you every step of that process. For this build, we enlisted a master craftsman, Brian Carter, a PC modder with over a decade and a half of experience. PC Gamer and Intel have created a 4-part series following Brian as he created this epic artifact. DevBot, cue it up.
Hey, my name is Brian Carter, and I've been building custom PC mods for over 16 years. I'm working with Intel and a Total War Saga Troy on a very special custom PC project that we're thrilled to debut at the PC Gaming Show. Join me in a 4-part video series as I take you through each stage of the scratch build process. We begin with the inspiration and design phase, where we figure out how to take the amazing design assets
I
from
thought
a
maybe we
Total
were
War
about to
Saga
get a
Troy
link or
and
something, but
functionalize
okay.
them to house our best-in-class
We're
components.
going.
Like the 10th gen Intel Core i9-10900K processor. Then I'll show you how I assemble, finish, and test this one-of-a-kind PC. A big thank you to Intel and Creative Assembly for letting me work on this incredibly fun and challenging project. I hope you like it.
Oh,
All
it
right.
looks so good. And I have some good news.
It does look cool.
Episode 1 is available now, and I have even better news. You can win this PC from DevBot's loving clutches. Head on over to PCGamer.com/IntelPC to learn more and enter for a chance to win.
Sure, why not?
And with that, it's time to return to more PC Gaming Show action with the fantastic Frankie.
Last year, Remnant from the Ashes challenged gamers
Yeah,
to take on
good game.
monstrous creatures in a post-apocalyptic world. Today, we're excited to announce the biggest update yet for the game, upcoming DLC that will conclude this thrilling saga. The fate of humankind is at stake. It's time to bring an end to the root once and for all. This is the world reveal of Remnant from the Ashes, Subject 2923, available August 20th on PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Okay. This is the final Remnant DLC. Expansion, maybe, is the way to word it.
They say hope is what makes us human. Hope also let us think we'd won.
I really liked this game. I didn't like the final boss at all.
Another hole we have to plug in our sinking civilization. Maybe the root's not the only thing we need to worry about.
Okay. I also still wish that there's I still wish there was a way to,
new
to
Remnant
like,
from the
guarantee
Ashes
that you
content
fought
looks
bosses that you haven't
fantastic.
fought before.
And you know what
because
else
there's
is
still bosses I
fantastic?
have
Hearing
not
the
seen at
opinions
all.
of strangers from the internet. Nothing makes my day as much as hearing what's inside your mind. So please use hashtag PC Gaming Show on whatever your platform of preference may be, and you just might have your comment show up live on the show. Now for our next title, we have to look at classic remasters. Capcom has been updating the original Resident Evil games, and in the same vein, 2K is now updating Mafia. The original Mafia trilogy is getting a full definitive edition remaster, with the original game, the 2002 Mafia, getting a full ground-up remake with 4K support. We got a brand new trailer for you, so let's take a look at Lost Heaven 2 decades later.
I skipped the Mafia games completely.
Detective Norman. How long you been in town? 3 years. They handed you the Morello case. Right out of the gate. That's what the paper says, ain't it? And what's it to you? Case must be getting pretty cold by now. Or you got something might warm it up? Yeah, I might have something.
Yeah, I skipped these games completely and always wanted to play them. I heard really good things about 2.
What do they call you, son? Thomas. Thomas Angelo, sir.
Sure.
Man, DevBot, after a beautiful trailer like that, I gotta know, do you have any contacts in the Mafia?
Sean, I have left that life behind me. I am programmed not to form relationships with organized crime. However, I can call one of the developers of Mafia Definitive Edition.
Well, fantastic. Let's ring him up, DevBot. Joining me to talk about Mafia is the president and CCO of Hangar 13. It is Hayden Blackman. Hayden, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So for people who haven't played the original Mafia, which is a 2002 release, talk to us about this game.
Mafia, the Definitive Edition, is a complete ground-up remake of Mafia from 2002, which is a seminal game that really launched the Mafia franchise. And in Mafia, you take on the role of Tommy Angelo, who is a cab driver that falls in with the mob during the 1930s, actually during the height of Prohibition, in a city called Lost Heaven, which is loosely based on Chicago. And as a member of the Salieri crime family, he really gets embroiled in a war with the Morello crime family. And we kind of explore that story in Tommy's evolution from cab driver to respected member of the Mafia.
I feel like in the last 10 years, we've seen HD editions, remasters that are more graphical updates. But my understanding is that this is far more than just a new coat of paint on a game from 2002.
All right.
Talk to me about what a remake means.
Everything was rebuilt, so every asset,
all
every
brand new
cinematic
models.
was
Cool.
reshot, and,
All right.
and all the gameplay was completely redone. Now we've kept all the same big beats from the original game. The story
Sure.
is the same for the most part. All the big plot points are there. All the missions are there and represented. But again, everything was completely rebuilt from the ground up.
Sure.
In order to kind of meet the expectations of today's gamers and take advantage of today's technology.
That's cool to bring it up to the new
location-
standards. Okay.
Pretty much every open world game is a central character. In
I hope that pays off. I
2002,
really do, because
we've
like
seen a ton of
I worry
gameplay
that
changes between then and now, 2020.
maybe it
Can you talk a
loses
little
some
bit
of
about
its
the ways
identity.
you've
Again, I
updated
never
the
played it,
open
but
world setting,
we'll see.
maybe some of the new mechanics that players can expect.
So we do that a number of different ways. You know, one, we looked at how populated can we make it, and we took some of the kind of world interactions and some of the things that we did with, crowds and non-player characters and other kind of city life from Mafia 3 and put them into Mafia the Definitive Edition. But we also looked at, are there ways for us to kind of redesign the city so it's more fun to drive around? You know, do we need to widen the streets? Do we need to make sure that there's not as many 90-degree turns so that you can kind of coast around corners? And as we capture the feel of the vehicles, are there things that we want to do to make sure that the roads have grip or they're slick in the rain? And so that
Sure.
I think brought a lot of life to it as well.
It's an
because
interesting
most
like
of the way
take
you
to be
engage
able to
with the
go,
city is through driving.
hey, we made these
speaking
games
of
before
rebuilding
and we
things
liked
from the
them.
ground up, I gotta
Now
ask
we
you
get to
about
go
the
back and
cinematics.
fix it.
I mean, they looked
We
gorgeous
to make
in
it
the trailer.
now the way that we
And,
would
I mean,
if we
what
had
was the
had that skill
process
and
of
experience back then.
rebuilding
Which is
all
really
of those
interesting.
cinematics.
For
It's
us, it was
really cool.
how do we recreate these? Again, taking advantage of some of the cutting edge stuff that we've been doing at Hangar 13. So, we have really great facial scanning and likeness capture technology, a state of the art mocap facility. So we really wanted to take advantage of that for.
I imagine that would be like a passion project too, of like, hey, we made this
all
game
the
a long time
cinematics,
ago and I'm really proud of
again,
it,
to
but
add
what
some
if
of
I
that
can make it
language and add some of that
again?
Character development and maybe some of that clarity that we were going for without losing the essence of each moment.
Well, now it's time for my favorite question.
Yeah.
When can we play Mafia Definitive Edition, and where can people go right now to learn more?
Sure. So we are looking at an August 28th launch date, and we still, have a ways to go, and
Sure.
we're working on that kind of final polish push right now. But I'm really confident, really bullish in that date right now. If you want more information, you can go to mafiagame.com.
I might get it
After
just
seeing the trailer, I personally
for
am
the sake of
hyped, and
how
thank you so
cool
much
an
for
idea that
joining us
is.
At this year's PC Gaming
Of a
Show.
second
Once
shot
again,
to make a game.
mafiagame.com. For our next title, it's time to head on over to Frankie.
Okay.
Sean, next up, it's one of those games that looks so pretty, we just had to show it to you. Ever wondered what Slay the Spire might be like with Tim Burton at the helm? Well, Road Lords could be the answer.
Ah.
It's being jointly developed by Cyanide and Leica Studio and sees you building a team from storybook psychos like Dracula, Bloody Mary, and Baron Samedi. Makes all the more sense when
Okay.
you realize you're being employed by the devil himself, a job that has
Sure.
my name written all over it. The game is out this October, and we've got a brand new gameplay trailer.
Well, if it doesn't release on Halloween,
Hi,
like, what are you
everyone.
doing?
Welcome to this exclusive gameplay reveal of our new title.
Oh, Road Lords. I
Development
thought
is
you
moving
said
forward,
Road
and we are
Lords.
very excited to share some in-game elements and combat mechanics for the very first time. Road
It's
Lords
turn-based,
is a
looks like, so I'm
roguelike
down.
Game where you play as the devil. You have to build your team with legends of evil and lead them in runs through multiple events and fights.
Okay.
After a terrible defeat years ago, you're finally coming back with your most faithful disciples to wreak havoc and terror in a world unbalanced after your long absence.
Sure.
The combat
All right.
is turn-based and strategic. You will need to build your set of skills through your run to be prepared for any threat, analyze your enemy's next attacks, and create combos to secure victory. Every skill costs action points. You should think how to make the best of them each turn. When one of your disciples becomes vulnerable, your own health bar is exposed, which is persistent during the entire run.
I got you.
Your
Okay.
health is reduced to 0, your run is finished. In Rogue Lords, you are the devil, so you don't have to play by the same rules as mortals.
Interesting.
When the situation becomes tricky, you can use souls to play with the interface and change an enemy health bar, for example. This is an expensive trick to use, but very powerful and useful in the most difficult fights. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for more info coming
Interesting.
soon.
Also
See you
interesting,
next
they
time.
didn't show any of Dracula's attacks there, and I wonder if that's
you're
just
a big
because they
fan
don't have
of
them ready
roguelikes,
yet.
You know they're known for two things: procedurally generated worlds and permadeath. Our next game, Unexplored 2, puts an interesting twist on these
Unexplored
ideas.
2.
What if your character's demise changed the game world itself, altering it for all of your future playthroughs? From developer Ludomotion and publisher
Okay.
Big Sugar, this is Unexplored 2: The Wayfarer's Legacy.
Listening.
When called upon to be the next Wayfarer, will you answer? When tasked to take your place in a long line of heroes, will you waver? When challenged to forge your legacy out of strife, hardship, and magic,
I like this art style a lot.
will you be victorious? This is our world. It is your burden. From beyond the gate into the First Valley, there is no return.
Okay.
Will you be ready?
The latest update for Dauntless is the most ambitious chapter yet for this online free-to-play RPG. In Call of the Void, players unravel a mystery surrounding an ancient civilization, culminating in a showdown with a new otherworldly behemoth. And as a nice little bonus, if you go to playdauntless.com right now and use the code PCGamingShow2020, you can get some free in-game rewards.
Nice.
Nice. Let's take a closer look at this update that's available now in Dauntless. This is Call of the Void.
Dauntless is one of those games that I've always wanted to get into and just never did. Unfortunately, time is it's a thing. And even when you get paid to play video games for a living, there's still only so much time in a day. Okay. These things look cool. Sure. Hey now.
There's still more games to come on the PC Gaming Show. Here's what's around the corner. Take a closer look at Blightbound, the new action RPG from Devolver. A special collection of exciting independent games coming to PC. Back to you, Frankie.
There aren't many games about being in nature, which is why Among Trees caught my eye. In this first-person survival sandbox, you get to explore a colourful, breathing world that's full to the brim with life. Just don't go wandering around like Snow White. Wild, deadly beasts share this painted world with you, and you'll want to move carefully to avoid their bitey bits. Produced by a 3-person team out of Sweden, this project demonstrates the creative power of independent creators on PC.
Okay. Floor. Still a survival game. Again, probably my least favorite genre, but I like this art style a lot. Okay, interesting. A looking bear. Among trees. Sure.
Now, if you're like me, you've drunk your fair share of potions in video games over the years.
Yeah.
But you've probably never stopped to consider the business side of these magical
If this is
elixirs.
Potion Seller of the game, I'm
In
going to lose my
Potionomics,
mind.
You're a witch who must save her potion
Okay.
shop from the clutches of greedy loan sharks,
Potionomics.
bartering and haggling with a
That's a good
slew
name.
of
That's a very good
demanding
name.
customers. Let's take a closer look at this unique fantasy concept.
Not Potion Seller of the game, but Potionomics is a good name. It's a good name, for sure. Okay, I'm digging the art style. I'm digging the art style a lot. Yeah. All right. It's an Exceed. Oh, yeah, I'm loving this. Okay. You got me. Yes, look at this. Oh, I'm in. Reciteer style. I am in. Oh, do you have to play cards to be able to try and to haggle the pricing? Oh, man. I'm in. Cool. All right. Nice. Yeah, I'm in on this. This looks great. Potionomics. Yeah, I'm in. When? This year? Next year? Windows PC? No date. Okay.
We spend a lot of time in
Sometime
video
in the
games
future.
fixated
Sometime
on
in the
finding
future.
the best, the most powerful gear. But in our next game, Mortal Shell, things are a little different. You aren't scouring a dungeon looking for a +1 sword. You're exploring a shattered world for the remains of defeated warriors that you then possess like a ghost. These are the Mortal Shells, and they're much more than mere pieces of armor and stats. Each one has a
cool
complicated
premise.
backstory, a play style, and an identity that might give you mixed feelings about the body you're occupying. Coming later this year exclusively to the Epic Games Store on PC, let's take a look at this gorgeous and brutal action game.
The way he worded
Mortal
that
Shell.
makes it sound like it's coming to console as well.
I foresaw this. Scratched sigils on the walls. Counted the days until you'd come. A million eyes peering across time and space, yearning for a glimpse of the unknown. PC Gaming Show.
Ah.
You seem to.
All right. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny.
The consecrated fires revealed cinders and shadows. But beneath it all, no monsters, no gods, only oblivion.
I legitimately am so tired of the music that does that. Like, I get why people use it. It's popular, but... It's very common trailer music, and I'm just very tired of it. Okay, that was... Okay. Can you switch mid-combat? Surely not, right? That's a really interesting idea, though. A beta on July 3rd. Okay.
But wait, there's more. We've gotten the chance to see some of the core gameplay of Mortal Shell, but now it's time to talk about bosses. Bosses are
Sure.
a classic staple of this type of RPG. And in our second piece of Mortal Shell footage, we'll see a boss that isn't just a one-and-done threat. Instead, it's a constant adversary throughout the campaign. The Hattern is a mysterious figure who stalks the player throughout Mortal Shell.
That can
As
be
you
done
grow in
well.
skill and master new weapons, so
Can
will
be
he.
done well. Can
The
be
clip
done
we're
really
about to watch
poorly as
shows the
well.
player's very first duel with the elusive adversary. Let's take a look.
UI's very minimalist. Interesting. Okay. So it looks like you harden is what that seemed like it was called based on that pop-up. And that reduces the damage you can take during that. So it looks like that's built in so you can't just spam somebody to death. That's interesting. Not doing a lot of damage to this Hattern guy. Doing well, though. That last strike did a good chunk. Yeah, so you hardened and took the blow instead. Interesting. Yeah, and see there, he was hardened, so they weren't able to do a follow-up attack. Big roll to get out of... Oh, a jump leaping attack? Okay. The harden into the riposte. That's an interesting system. I think that could work out really, really cool. Because like they had him there, but they couldn't finish it because of the harden. And they took the hit to be able to get the final blow. Interesting. Okay. Definitely early. No sound effects at all for that giant creature moving through the water.
Typically on the PC Gaming Show, we don't spend too much time talking about the Nintendo 64. But the beauty of PC gaming is that one way or another, almost all games find their way to us and are often better off for it.
Where is this
giving
going?
Blade Runner and Turok the Remaster treatment, Night Dive Studios is now modernizing Shadow Man, a 1999 cult classic.
Okay.
They're adding in support for 4K and widescreen plus a whole suite of cut content from this dark action classic.
I did not see that coming. All right. Shadow Man. Man, all right. Kex in. Yeah. This is one of those games that I never owned myself, but friends had it. And then the displays at Walmart for N64 had it. And I always wanted to own it, but never got it. So like, I'm sure there are other people that are like marking out about this, and I don't blame them. I know this is a game that a lot of people love. It's a game that I always wanted to go back and play, and then obviously, you know, never did. But I've only ever heard good things about this game. I had no idea where that was going, though. I was like, oh, what? N64? What? Heck yeah, man. I'll play it. Finally get a chance to play this N64 game that I never did play. I never owned, I guess. I did play it, but sure.
I am on a first-name basis with our next
Never played
guest,
for
as he
any
has been
long
here at
periods
the
of
PC
time.
Gaming Show 6 years running. From Tripwire Interactive,
Sure,
the
yeah.
president himself, it's John Gibson. Thanks so much for joining us, John.
Sean, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited to be back with you again to talk about so much cool stuff happening at Tripwire.
Yeah, you guys have been doing a lot of stuff, and I just want to kick off by asking, talk to me about Killing Floor 2.
So Killing Floor 2
All right.
just released the Perilous Plunder Summer Update. It's got 4 new weapons: Blunderbuss, Glock 18, Kaboom Stick, Tesla Launcher, new official map called Desolation, space pirate themed outfits.
I like it.
We're running a seasonal event with rewards until July 7th. And right now, it's free on Steam for a week, so you can go play it.
Oh, there
I
you
also
go.
have to ask about the follow-up to a game that was announced at the PC Gaming Show, Chivalry 2. Talk to me about Chivalry 2.
So we're working with Torn Banner Studios. We're publishing, Torn Banner's developing, and Chivalry 2 is coming along great. It's so fun, and we're excited to announce some big news, cross-play between the PC and the consoles. So
that
you
is
can
really
hack and
cool.
slash your console friends in Chivalry 2.
And last, a game that has been so popular on Twitch. Talk to me about Maneater.
Yeah, so we were so excited to get Maneater out the door. You know,
Tell me
we've shown it to
about
you guys
your fixes
originally in
for Maneater.
2018. We had all that fun with Frankie and the Shark
This is
Suit,
why I
which I'm
think of
kind
Frankie as
missing.
Maneater Woman.
The game is doing great. People are loving it. So much fan love, so many fan videos.
There's a lot about it that's
We're just
really good.
Happy to have it
There's
out
some
there.
very
And
unfortunate
people
problems
eating
with it,
lots
too.
of humans.
It's such a funny game, too. You know, you've talked a little bit about what has been announced from Tripwire Interactive. What's coming up next?
No
for
word on
Tripwire?
fixes. Okay.
So I wish we could come forward and announce an all-new game, and that would be great. But I can give you a few hints. So Chivalry 2, is in process. It's going to be coming out in the not too distant future, hopefully. Maneater, we're taking the community feedback and we're looking at things that we can add to the game. So you haven't seen the last of Maneater. And Killing Floor 2, the game
I was
came out in
really hoping you would
2015.
say some
So
performance
we're really
fixes.
Thinking about what's next for
I
the
was
Killing
really
Floor
hoping you would say
franchise. So
performance
stay tuned.
fixes.
Well, if history is any indicator, John, I'm sure I'll see you at next year's PC Gaming Show with those very updates. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Now, at this year's PC Gaming Show, we've already taken a look at some Epic Game Store exclusives. Mortal Shell in particular looks very promising. But for a sense of what else there is, let's take a look at this.
Okay. Again, when you do these, hey, here's a bunch of games, it makes it really difficult to talk about them on the podcast. So those got their own individual time. First Skater 1 and 2 are coming. We already knew about that. Call the Void. Super Meat Boy Forever we knew about. I guarantee you this song is going to get us claimed. So thanks, Epic. Twin Mirror from Dontnod. Surgeon Sim 2. Blitz. Phantom Brigade. That's new, I think. Now, Iron Harvest we already knew about. Valhalla we already knew about. Godfall. Looter Slasher. Well, on the upside, that one won't be as difficult to talk about on the podcast because we knew about almost all those games already. But
Three-player dungeon
cool.
crawler where you and your
Lightbound,
friends
yep.
explore unique dungeons, fighting a terrifying cadre of mystical and monstrous enemies, grab valuable loot, and recover fallen heroes to expand your roster of available warriors. Blightbound will battle its way onto
Oh,
Steam
okay.
Early
They lost the
Access later
trailer,
this year
so it'll
as
be
an
after the credits.
ever-expanding
Okay.
game with new maps,
Also,
new
somebody
heroes
asked somebody
add
to
your
marry him
roster,
during all this.
and
That's
new loot to retrieve
crazy.
through free updates.
Gloomwood. Yeah, okay. So that's where the Gloomwood trailer got missed.
Behold, Blightbound, a cooperative dungeon crawler that tasks 3 heroes to venture down from their mountain refuge to face the abominations of the Blight, a mysterious and corrupting fog that enshrouds the land. Each player will choose a hero from one of 3 classes: warrior,
Forge Titan's might!
assassin,
Let me at him.
or mage.
My greatest power.
Sure.
Battle a terrifying horde of monstrous enemies and colossal
Art style's cool.
bosses. Each class
3
of
players.
hero fulfills a specific role on the team to overcome mounting odds. solve clever puzzles, and synchronize their ultimate abilities to unleash massive damage.
Sure.
Battle through 3 distinct lands, each with several dungeons.
3-player multiplayer is an odd one, right?
The eerie grave mountain,
Like,
the oppressive
it's not,
Underhold,
hey, we have 4-player multiplayer with the option for 3. It's 3-player multiplayer. It's very rare in video
your
games.
nerves and prepare once again to enter the Blight Warrior. We are Blightbound.
Sure. Local and online. Why not? Why not?
Are you viewers at home still thinking about that computer? I know I am. Swoon. Oh, sorry. And now more from the PC Gaming Show.
One thing we cherish about PC gaming is its openness. The PC is a platform where anyone can build stuff, tinker, and express themselves.
Yeah.
And that spirit invites creators, streamers, developers, stores, and all kinds
Green
of different
screen
voices
is
to
being
contribute
pushed back
to
by
PC
Zeke.
gaming's vibrancy. We've already featured a lot of exciting independent games here today.
Yeah.
But in rapid fire succession, here are 8 more indie projects that we're excited
All right, rapid fire. Let's go,
Shadows
man.
of Doubt is a detective stealth game set in a fully simulated sci-fi noir city.
Okay, I like this art style. This looks cool.
In the Forgotten City,
Okay.
you fall into an ancient Roman utopia only to find it full of people, mysteries, and difficult moral choices. Explore an open world locked in time.
Each day I grow more and more afraid that our time in the sun is almost up. Somebody is about to end.
Critically acclaimed mod.
Your job is to figure out who and stop them.
Okay.
You already know what will happen if you fail.
Sure. Okay.
Find your own truth in Paradise Killer, a
Paradise
first-person open-world
Killer?
murder mystery. Play as investigation freak Lady Love Dies as they explore the world, uncover the facts, and breathe life back into paradise.
There's been a murder. Last night, Paradise.
Music's
was
pretty
killed.
good.
I'm investigation freak Lady Love Dies.
All right.
Reporting for duty.
Interesting character design.
My job to
Like that
scour the
coat.
streets of Paradise and hunt for evidence. Any one of these psychopaths.
Cool. Oh, look at the skeleton.
Breathing life
Yes!
into Paradise won't be
I'm
easy.
in.
When love dies, all that remains are the facts. Paradise Killer, coming soon.
Haven is an RPG
Red
about
blood
journey of
skeleton?
two
I am
lovers
in,
escape
man.
to a lost planet to stay together.
Okay, this is the one we saw during the PS5 event.
Here we go. More rust. Good thing we don't have to scrub.
At worst, I kill them.
Whoa, you.
Oh, come on. Dodge this one.
Okay, we can see some actual combat here.
You like that?
That's gotta hurt.
I like it. I like it a lot. Sure, I'm in. You got me.
Cartel Tycoon is a
Cartel
narrative-driven
Tycoon.
drug empire simulator where you rule as a succession of fictional drug lords in a world where death and violence are inevitable.
Okay. That was a giraffe. All right. Free demo. That's from Tiny Build.
Trash Sailors is a survival cult adventure game set in a dangerous, ruined world full of junk where you and friends must survive the Great Flood.
Okay. I was about to ask if this was like a a raft-like game. Yes and no. It very much looks like the Don't Starve style, right? Yeah, okay.
Cris Tales is an indie love letter to
Cris Tales!
RPGs that lets you experience past, present, and future.
I am looking forward to this game quite a bit. Man, I love the way this game looks. Look at this, man. Oh. I'm in. I'm so in. November 17th! And next-gen console version's coming too? Nice.
Set in a vibrant fantasy world created in collaboration with RPG veteran Chris Avallone,
Champions
Alalov
of the
offers
Four
fast-paced
Kingdoms.
action with a deep narrative, bringing ARPG dynamics to a new level with a skill-based gameplay inspired by great classics and modern masterpieces.
Okay. Alalov, Champions of Four Kingdoms.
Weird West is a curious project from the co-creators of two of our favorite games.
This is a game that
Dishonored
we got to
and
see some
Prey.
stuff from before.
Despite its top-down perspective,
Seemed really
Weird
cool.
West carries forth much of the same spirit of those first-person games laid out in a dark reimagining of the Wild West, filled with fantastical creatures. From Wolfeye Studios and Devolver, let's take a look at Weird West.
The West, the land of opportunity.
I'm really interested in this.
A place where you can be a hero, a scoundrel, and anything in between. This ain't quite the Wild West as you know it. There are ancient powers at war with each other. Strange entities lurking in the dead of night with their own rules and their own peculiar motives.
Okay.
Welcome to the Weird West.
Sure.
Coming out here could be the best thing that ever happened to you. If you can survive, that is.
Sure.
Joining me to talk about Weird West is the president and creative director at Wolfeye Studios. It's Raf Colantonio. How's it going, Raf?
Hi, I'm great. How are you?
I am awesome and eager to talk about this game. And I want to start with something very straightforward. What is Weird West?
Weird West is an action RPG that is set in an environment that is called the Weird West. And it's very much of the kind of games that I've been working on in the past, except that the perspective is more like a isometric, top-down kind of view.
Yeah, I mean, we've referenced Prey and Dishonored, and we normally think of the immersive sim as first-person games like that. What happens when you try to translate that to that top-down isometric perspective?
There's not much different in the spirit. You will really find yourself at home. It's just that it's a different perspective. So instead of seeing through the eyes of the player, of the character, you have a chance to run a party of people. So you have followers, and you have more kind of like a strategy kind of view. But the exploration and everything is, is still the same kind of spirit, but with a different perspective.
And in particular for people that maybe haven't played immersive sims, I know that the whole notion
looks cool.
Creative problem solving is a big aspect. Multiple ways to get past the same obstacle. Can you give some examples of that in Weird West?
We like games where
Guinea pig is called
we
Toddy.
set up an environment for you, a context. There's a world, there are characters, there are objects, and all of those objects have got consistent rules. And then there's an objective, which is, for example, go inside this house and frame a character by putting a letter that he did not actually truly write, but you put it there so that the sheriff can find it, right? You could do it in a very stealthy way, which would be what you would imagine people would do. So probably use a power and put people to sleep and then get inside.
You've talked about the different things that you can do as a player in the game, but who are you? What can the player do to shape who the character is over the course of the game?
Right, so this is a very good question and also a very dangerous one for me.
It's the riskiest question.
Because there's things he's not allowed to talk about yet.
To make it simple, you are going to play 5 different characters. Once the main quest is over with the first character, you go to the next one. Now, the first one is still in the world, so you can go back and recruit him or her in your party.
What does death mean for you and for your companions in Weird West?
It's a risk that we're taking. We're gonna have different modes. There's the super hard mode where you die and you're dead.
Is the game sort of designed to be like playing in one forward timeline? If someone dies, you're not supposed to reload. You're just supposed to continue to play within the same world?
Yeah, you continue to play with the same world, but now the sad thing is that that doesn't apply to your followers. Yeah, the characters that are with you, but maybe they'll come back at you someday under the form of an undead, or you don't know what's gonna happen.
I
can
gotcha.
Revive your followers if you're there and if you have the right tools with you. But if you don't and they die, that's it. You know, your followers are now in a little graveyard somewhere.
You make it sound cute. A precious little graveyard. Well, they will maybe come back as the undead. Yeah. Now, Raph, when can people get their hands on Weird West?
So the game ships in 2021, but some of you are gonna have a chance to play a demo actually pretty soon in the incoming months. You can follow Wolfeye Studios on Twitter and as well as
Devolver and be able to get the information that way.
For more information.
I didn't think about it before now, but it's interesting. Devolver didn't do a
Raph,
show.
Thank you so much for coming out.
I guess they
Once
probably
again,
could.
That is Devolver Digital, Wolfeye Studios on Twitter for that upcoming
It's
demo.
tough. Like a lot of
For
their
our
stuff
next
is comedy
game,
based, and
believe
like
it or
how do you
not,
get together
yet
and shoot all
again,
that? You know,
we're gonna go to Frankie.
Sean, I don't know about you, but there are times I wish for a simpler life. A life spent as a farmer in a humble JRPG village, where all I have to worry about is which vegetables to plant, what to name my chickens, and which of the dozen townsfolk I should propose marriage to. Our next game is a return to that simpler life. From XSEED Games, this is Story of Seasons, Friends of Mineral Town.
Friends of Mineral Town. Wow. Okay. I never expected that was coming back. Sure. Friends of Mineral Town, man. That's a game I never beat. It's a game I always meant to go back and beat and never did. It doesn't look bad at all, though. I see they chose Rand. Not a bad choice. Very cute. Very cute game still. July 14th. Wow, that's soon.
Marvelous. I'm so happy that you've been sending in your reactions, your memes, your takes of various temperatures throughout the show. Through the wonderful magic of motion graphics, you can even read them before your very eyes right now. I'm delighted by so many of them. Furious at a few, but I'm confused by none because you're just making a lot of sense today. We're in the home stretch of the show, so please continue to let us know which PC games you're excited about by using hashtag PCGamingShow. Now, when it comes to genres, there are few as ambitious on PC as the MMO. It requires
Yeah.
a vast amount
This
of
would be New
resources to
World.
create a rich,
This would
living,
be the
breathing
stuff on New
world to
World that we
entertain
got told
hundreds of
about.
thousands of players for years. And I know this because I watched season 1 of Mythic Quest. Due on closed beta on July 23rd, Amazon Games' New World aims to deliver that vast open world with pitched battles of 100 players. I'm excited to announce today that if you pre-order New World right now, you can get into that July 23rd beta a full month before the full release
There
on
you go.
August 25th. This is New World.
Show me some gameplay. Need to see some gameplay. You're trying to convince people to pre-order it today? I need to see some gameplay. Not just shots of stuff. I need to see some actual combat. What does it look like behind the UI? Because it looks kind of rough. I don't know that this is the art style that I would have gone for, but sure. Okay. Show me behind the camera. What are we looking at? Class-wise. What are we looking at? Ability-wise. What's the global cooldown? Not getting any of that stuff, are we? August 25th.
Here on the PC Gaming
Not
Show,
getting any of that
we're
stuff.
big fans of Life is Strange, the award-winning adventure series from developer Dontnod. Having undergone some big changes since its first reveal in 2018, Twin Mirror, the studio's next game, is a psychological thriller that follows investigative journalist Sam, who
Sure.
returns to his hometown in West Virginia. Available to wishlist now on the Epic Game Store. Let's watch.
My bed don't weigh the same. Basswood is many things. Peaceful tops that list. Check my clothes and
Until that day. You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything. Coming back to Basswood was your idea. Just try and make sure you don't do anything stupid.
I know you think that the only thing waiting for you down there is hurt. You might be right. The good news, though, at least you don't have to do it alone.
You may have seen Metal Hellsinger announced earlier this week, and today we get the opportunity to take a closer look at this unique game that the studio bills as a rhythm FPS. Published by Funcom, you have to battle through 8 hells, blasting demons to a heavy metal soundtrack. And to talk about one of the most epic encounters in the game is the creative director at The Outsiders, David Goldfarb.
Okay.
Take it away, David.
Thanks. And let me say it's a pleasure to be here. And I think right now everybody needs some games to give us a break from the reality that we're currently inhabiting. So
I realize I
that's
didn't
why
say
we're
anything
here
about
now.
Twin Mirror at all. I zoned out for a second there.
So what you're about to see here is an exclusive peek of some pre-alpha gameplay of our upcoming game, Metal Hellsinger.
Metal Hellsinger.
I hope you like it.
Twin Mirror looked pretty interesting, but there's I don't know what's going on there, so sure. Looked okay. I like this music. Wonder how you get more ammo. Looks like it syncs to the music too, which is pretty interesting. Like maybe you get a damage boost for syncing it up with the music, right? Okay. Sure. Outsiders?
Hello everybody, Felicia Day here, and I play the Magician in the Dungeons of Nahelbeck, The Amulet of Chaos. The Amulet of Chaos is a fun and silly tactical RPG that's coming to PC later this summer. It features a group of adventurers searching a dungeon for treasure. Each one of the characters has their own skill sets, or lack thereof, fighting styles, and inventory. Each one is kind of a failure, but together, they're too dumb to fail. The game doesn't take itself too seriously. It has lots of in-jokes for tabletop games, and for some reason it features a lot of chickens. Anyway, here is an exclusive preview of The Amulet of Chaos.
Fable joke. Dungeons of Nahelbeck.
You again? I'd expected your asses to be turned into lampshades by now. You roach! I'm pissed. Ha! Pleased to meet you, pissed. I'm Revax.
What a burn!
We'll smash your rotten brains out of your skull.
How about we try diplomacy, maybe?
No. Attack!
Guards, guards! Dispatch these smelly bushwhackers! Zivat relic Hizmat!
Alright. Dialogue was fine. It didn't, like, adhere me to the characters at all, but sure. Fine. Alright then. I feel like back when Deathspank came out was like the height of crazy comedy action ARPG.
Of desert. In this intriguing narrative adventure, you
That's a game I haven't thought about in a very long time. Deathspank.
For the rest of your clan. Let's take a look at Red Sails.
Sure. All right. Sure, okay. Under that star? Okay. Interesting. Pirates, maybe? World seems cool. I like what I'm seeing so far of the world for sure. Red Sails.
So DevBot, do you have any access to some medical programs in case I, bump my foot against some of these cold, unforgiving walls?
Query received, Sean. In order to familiarize you with basic life-saving procedures, I have established contact
Surgeon Simulator 2.
Bossa Studios, the creators of Surgeon Simulator 2.
Yeah, here we go.
Well, I wasn't really planning on doing any surgery. I feel like if I was injured, you'd be the one.
The first game is one that I never really got into, but watched a bunch of people play.
All of the vital instructions for repairing fragile human bodies. 1 hour of Surgeon Simulator 2 is equivalent to 1 year of human medical school.
That's not true, but I appreciate your enthusiasm and thirst for knowledge, DevBot. And I'm certainly interested in this game. So let's take a look at Surgeon Simulator 2.
They've changed the art style. It's a lot more cartoony. Somehow more cartoony than Surgeon Simulator 1. Yeah, I don't know that I like the way it looks like it is now, if that makes sense. I think I preferred the previous style. But I also was not going to play it regardless, because it's just not my style of game. So, like, let me know if you're in the comment section and you're like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. Let me know. I'm curious. It definitely seems more goofy somehow than before. August 2020.
Joining us to talk about Surgeon Simulator 2, we got Mark Pick on the line. Mark, thanks so much for joining us.
Hello, thanks for having me.
So, for anyone who has not experienced the hilarity of Surgeon Simulator 1, can you just give us the gist and tell us, what is Surgeon Simulator 2 all about?
We've kind of taken the tone and the heart of the original, which is that chaotic physics gameplay, and we've really kind of blown it out to brand new epic proportions. So in the original game, you're just one arm kind of moving around on one table. In the new game, you're actually a fully limbed surgeon moving around for the first time in the series on 2 feet. In the original game as well, yeah, right. What an innovative feature in 2020. In the original game as well,
That's pretty good.
you
That's pretty
were
good, Jim.
limited to just surgery, whereas in Surgeon Simulator 2, there's a whole plethora of brand new mechanics, challenges, and gameplay elements to explore. You're not just looking over one patient's chest cavity anymore, but you're actually exploring a fully fledged medical facility.
Can you maybe tease a little bit of some of the other, perhaps, medical operations that I get to perform in Surgeon Simulator 2?
Yeah, so there is 12 operations in the game, and you will have seen a few of those in the trailer just now. Think of that facility as like a little bit like the original Surgeon Simulator, with a bit of kind of a mad scientist lab thrown in there, through this kind of lens of like a Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory vibe. Like, you're never really sure what's going to be around the next corner and what new twist or what dark machinery you're going to come across next. So players are going to come across everything from like surgical vending machines, over-engineered operating theatres, automatic patient dispensers, my personal favourite, which is actually an improvised cannon, where you can actually fire limbs or organs and things across to your fellow surgeons. On
Again, none of this like really.
On Bob.
Now, Mark,
again,
I understand that there is a
I wasn't going to play it
creation
anyway,
tool in
most
Surgeon
likely.
Simulator 2. What does that entail?
Yeah, that's right. So in keeping with the variety and the surprise that we talked about before, in Surgeon Simulator 2, we're proud to announce that we are bringing the Bossa Labs creation mode to the game. Now, in creation mode, you as a solo player or in a group of up to 4 players can get stuck into the very same tools that we as designers and developers use to build our very own story mode. It's an easy to use, intuitive, friendly set of tools where it's as much fun to create as it is to play.
So I want to ask, what are some of the examples of the types of levels, the types of creations that people have made?
That's a great question.
Okay.
So we've been live for the last few months already. The wealth and the variety of content made by players so far has been really, really incredible to see. So there's been everything in there from traditional takes on surgery, like the end of the original game. We've also got ghost ships in there. We've got bowling alleys. We've even got a take on the Surgeon Olympics, where people are bouncing around Bob's head and using that as a ball. And then we've got my personal favourite, which is the kind of the take on the bottle flip challenge. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, but where you can kind of flip a bottle with the hand and kind of, it's not the easiest thing to do with the Surgeon Simulator hand. And you just kind of step back and see the physics.
Yeah, I don't know.
play
It just
out, and it's a lot of fun. It's very satisfying to see.
I feel like
play
I'm
out.
crazy because this
Mark,
doesn't
I
look
had a
appealing to
blast
me
playing Surgeon
compared to the
Simulator
first
1.
game, but that's
When can
just
people
me.
play Surgeon Simulator 2, and how do they get access to this creation workshop you've mentioned?
Surgeon Simulator 2 is coming to the Epic Games Store in August 2020, and you can pre-order that right now. You can also go to surgeonsimulator.com for more information and follow us at SurgeonSim on Twitter to learn more.
Mark, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
That's Mark Pick. I'm Sean Plott. Let's go to Frankie Ward.
Sean, you'll remember our next developer from their appearance in the PC Gaming Show way back in 2015. Hello Games are a small UK indie studio.
Yeah,
perhaps
Hello
best
Games,
known for
okay.
building the infinite, procedurally generated universe of No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
But their next big release is an altogether more intimate, handcrafted affair. The Last Campfire is an adventure game, a story of a lost ember trapped in a puzzling place, searching for meaning and a way home. Let's check it out.
Yeah, so we got a little bit of footage from this sometime back. I'm trying to remember what event that was. Wholesome Direct, maybe? I don't remember which one, but... And I mentioned then that with it being just a single-player experience, like story-driven game, that I had high hopes that Hello would be able to like focus in on it. And it still looks interesting. That shot still gets me a little bit. Sure.
Escape from Tarkov has become one of the breakout successes of 2020, becoming a smash hit on Twitch as players fell in love.
Man, I feel like
with
I'm
its extra gritty
completely
take on
behind on this
first-person
game. I
shooters.
forgot it
But as
existed.
anyone who works on the internet will tell you, the people always want more. And more we've got for you today. Because in a moment, I'm going to be speaking to one of the game's developers about what's coming next. And that includes a spicy new map. Hey, DevBot, why don't you show them what we got?
Yeah, I forgot this game existed entirely. And it's just because, again, I don't play shooters that much. I feel bad because I'm the one who's supposed to like keep tabs on all the big games for the podcast and for Game of the Year and stuff like that. And I completely fell off the earth on this one. Is that a phrase people even use anymore? Fell off the earth on? I don't know. Having never played this game, I don't know. And I know they're trying to show off the map here. But nobody actually moves through a map in a shooter like this, right? In a multiplayer shooter? Is it a multiplayer? Again, I barely know anything about this game, so I feel bad. Because if it's a single-player shooter, then yes, absolutely you move like this. You're probably crouching, too. That gun is really big. It's taking up a good percentage of screen space there. Sure.
Here with me to talk about what's coming next is Nikita Buyanov from Battlestate Games. Thanks so much for joining us today, Nikita.
Thank you for having me.
I would love if you would kick off by just for anyone who hasn't played or seen Escape for Tarkov, how does a session of Escape from Tarkov work? What makes it different from, say, a class-based shooter or a battle royale?
Okay, so it is
more about like true survival. You need to actually escape from a location through extract points, and you need to actually save your life and save your gear and your loot. And if you die, you will lose everything.
So how does the new map compare to the existing map set in Tarkov?
It will be the biggest and the most detailed location ever. It will be a lot of explorable buildings, undergrounds. It's like an attempt to simulate the city, the realistic modern city.
So give me a breakdown of what's coming up in this upcoming patch 12.7.
12.7 is more like a technical patch. It will include the big addition called the expansion of Customs location. Customs is the pretty iconic location for the EFT. It will like enlarge the overall area by 30 or even 40%.
Okay.
The next updates we will totally like overhaul the whole skill system, and there will be new boss called Senator. This boss will able to heal his partners and like search for stashes. So we always try to bring something new in terms of new bosses. Really, big amount of cool features out to come this year. We'll try to bring some new experience for you.
Escape from Tarkov has been playable for a long time. For anyone who's listening who hasn't yet played it, where should they go?
They should go to our site, www.escapefromtarkov.com, and see for yourself. You could purchase it over there.
So once again, escapefromtarkov.com to check it out. And Nikita, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. It's a pleasure.
For our next title to PC Gaming Show, it's time to head on over to the inimitable Frankie Ward.
Over the last decade, developer Red Barrels has given us some of the most messed up horror games ever created. The next game in the Outlast series offers more mind-numbing terror, but this time with friends. Outlast Trials is set during the Cold War, and in this happy period of distrust, fear, and violence,
So,
you and your friends are human guinea pigs.
This thing happens in my head when I think about horror games
advanced
with
methods of
co-op,
brainwashing and
where
mind control.
I immediately go,
Good times, but work together.
Because of Dead
and
Space
maybe
3.
you'll survive the
But-
Outlast Trials.
it's possible this could be really good. I mean, not everything is Dead Space 3, right? Let's find out. I'm not a big Outlast guy either. I've played a little bit of the first one on Just Right stream. They're in a big charity live event for Extra Life. I've watched Mahler's series on it. I bet this gets copyright claim too.
Night vision device fully operational, sir.
Excellent. Bring in the other subjects.
So, I don't mean to derail here. I'm actually really curious. How would you know that the night vision was working? Because it lights up? Like, you can't see the feed, can you? They put a computer in his brain? Sure.
And with that, the 2020 PC Gaming Show is now complete.
All
Thank
right.
you so much for joining
Good
us
show.
today. We hope that you
We'll
got
hang
the
around
chance
till
to
after the
see
credits
some
for
games that
Gloomhaven.
excited and delighted you. Also, as you might imagine, it is really challenging to put on a show with
I bet.
no nearby gaming conventions.
I bet.
So an enormous thanks to our sponsors for helping to make this show possible. This year, the sponsors are Mythical, Perfect World, Funcom, Frontier Developments,
that
XC
P4G
Games,
logo.
Atlas, Intel, All In Games, Humble Games, Sega, Amazon Games, Merge Games, Tripwire Interactive, and the Epic Games Store. Without your support, we would not have had the opportunity to put on a show for the greatest platform, PC gaming. Now, before I say goodbye, I want to give a warm thanks and a chance for my co-host to say goodbye. Thanks again, DevBot.
I'm glad to have been of service, Sean. I'm going to shut down into sleep mode to conserve power until next year. Frankie, what is your goodbye message?
Thank you so much to all of our devs for
There's,
your incredible games.
Toddy.
And of course, a massive thanks to our sponsors for making this all happen. And finally, a big thanks to you guys at home for watching. I'm actually off with my little evil sidekick now to take over the world, and I
Sure.
really do look forward to being your evil Emperor Overlord.
Yeah.
Until next year.
I would,
thank you so
I would
much,
support you,
and
Frankie.
goodbye.
All right, that's it. Coming up next is the Future Games Show over at twitch.tv/GamesRadar, where you'll see
Not-
more exclusive reveals,
doing
deep
another one
dives
today.
on the future
Nope,
of
not
gaming,
happening.
and developer interviews. With that, I'm Sean Day9 Plot, and this has been the PC Gaming Show. Stay healthy, stay safe, and take care.
All right. We.
Hello, world. Or rather,
Okay.
goodbye, world. These are the credits.
Yep.
Runcredits.exe. Loadcredits.bat. Opencredits.wad. You get the idea. These are the humans who helped me make the show.
Yep.
I don't know why humans require acknowledgement for everything. Who is that? They are not in my database. My whole head is a video. I could have been the video team. You didn't even ask me.
All right. During the credits here, let's hit on the big stuff.
All of the world's knowledge.
I'm going to turn volume down. While we wait for the Gloomhaven trailer, let's talk about my favorites of the show. Obviously, there we go. Obviously, P4G, Persona 4 Golden, 100%. He's still talking in my ear, by the way. I've muted him for you guys, so you don't have to hear both our voices at the same time. But it's very distracting to have him talking in my ear while I'm talking. I could wait to do this, but nah, it's fine. We're already doing it now. One take, right? 2 hours, 20 minutes straight, one take. P4G, obviously, huge, like, yes, I am going to play that again. No doubt in my mind. Airborne Kingdom seemed cool. Unfortunate Spaceman seemed cool. Humankind seemed okay. I wanted to see a little bit more of that for sure. Icarus, it's another survival game, so I'm not sold on. But Ooblets, forgot about Ooblets. Ooblets really good. A lot of games on this list. A lot of them. Mafia Trilogy, for sure. Looking forward to that. Unexplored 2 seemed pretty interesting. Blightbound seemed cool. Chris Tales looked awesome. Shadow Men seemed cool. Mortal Shell seemed cool. Potionomics seemed awesome. Phantom Brigade seemed like it could be okay. Man, a lot of games. Trying to remember all of them now. Weird West, for sure. Gonna play that. Friends of Mineral Town, I'll probably play again. Maybe actually beat it this time. Red Sails seemed cool. Yeah. Those were my big takeaways. They showed a lot of games. I'm going to bring the audio back up now because the credits have finished. Bye, DevBot. Yeah, so here's the Gloomhaven trailer. And we'll see if it see what it is, I suppose. We got just a flash of it before. Interesting. Cool vibe. Nice. Very cool. Yeah, so this was supposed to be shown in with the other New Blood games. I think this one's maybe my favorite of the New Blood games. It looks like he's got a really interesting art style, right? All right. We're gonna call it here. Oh.
Inside at last, welcome.
Cool. All right. Cool. Yeah, we're gonna call it here. Let me know your thoughts on the PC Gaming Show. There was a bunch of videos, bunch of games that we talked about, bunch of stuff that we saw. Let me know which ones you were the most excited for in the comment section down below. And until next time, I've been Trey. This has been the Full Spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum the video games have to offer.